welcome back to another video. So now that things with GME are seeming to calm down a little bit, you might wonder, what is Wall Street Bets going to look at next? Okay, and Solo, I think, is pretty much one of the better stocks that you could pick for Wall Street Bets. For one, it's an electric vehicle stock. Two, depending on where you look at, but I would say majority says that this is a stock that is out of favor and very unpopular based on their flagship product, the Solo, which is a quirky three-wheeled car, as we can see here depicted in red. Okay, so I think it checks off pretty much all the checklists of what it means to pretty much pump up a stock like Solo. Okay, and I mean, I actually have been investing in Solo for some time, so I own shares of Solo. I was only comfortable investing in like 500 US dollars. I'm up about 11% on the position, so not like really much of a gain, but I just wanted to disclose this right off the bat. So let's do a little bit more in dive into actually if Solo has some substance behind it and whether or not you should invest in Solo. Of course, I'm advocating to, of course, do your own due diligence, but I advocate for Solo and I am long Solo. Okay, so it hasn't done much over the past month. It's gone up to over like around $9, but then back down to, as we can see right now, trading at $7.65, and just a little bit of a move after hours. Okay, but we can see the 52-week high was $13.60. 52-week low was $7.16. Okay, so sorry, 52 low was actually 89 cents. My bad. But okay, so again, the main question is, will people actually buy this product? Okay, and their main argument is that yes, people will. One, because the majority of people, when they commute to work and when they will start commuting back to work after the whole pandemic is over, they mainly commute alone. Okay, and then they're one person in a four seating car. Okay, so why would you need um, four seats when you mainly drive back and from work, like in the morning and in the evening? So this is a minimalist movement that Solo is trying to do, and it's capturing a unique EV market segment. Okay, so it's not trying to compete with Tesla or Neo or any other electric vehicle company, but it's actually trying to have become a EV company on its own standard, okay, with this minimalist movement of the Solo. And a lot of people would say that, this is not going to become popular, but one, EVs are popular. So then by definition, of course, Solo is going to be popular. And even if it captures a very small segment of the EV market, that still is a significant amount when you think about it overall combined. Okay, even if only like 1% of people buy this who are thinking of buying an electric vehicle car, then that's still a pretty damn good market. Okay, so this is a company again based out of Vancouver, and it's rapidly expanding. Okay, so pretty damn cheap stock. If we're looking at the market cap of this stock, we can see that it's 602 million. So I mean, it doesn't take a lot to pump up a stock like Solo, okay? If it's under a billion market cap. All right, but then we have to say that it also has two other cars in the works. One is a Tofino, which is more of like a sports type car. Of course, it has a higher price tag. The Solo, I should say, also one of its advantages is that it's, I believe, $18,000, whereas a typical EV car, for example, like a Tesla, is in the $30,000 range. Okay, but the Tofino is again a better looking sports car, and then it also has, sorry, excuse me, it has the e-Roadster. Okay, which is a more classical vintage looking electric vehicle. Okay, so again, you can see that it is in a very niche and unique market, and that's part of the reason why I like Solo. Okay, so these models, the e-Roadster and the Tofino, are expected to come down later, but with the Solo, they already have Solos in production, but probably deliver these, I would expect by, start delivering these maybe by the end of 2021. So again, we'll see what happens with the demand here, but I'm betting that again, Solo is going to do well. Okay, so now they have a lot of cash. They've been able to raise a lot of cash, so they have 100 million in cash on hand as of their third quarter results, which we can see here. And part of the big thing that they're trying to do is, you can't compare Solo to Tesla. Tesla spends no money on advertising, okay? That's because it's a regular car. It's even getting into the pickup business, and it's such a popular brand. But I think something like the Solo, it needs to be advertised, and it needs to be, of course, promoted in these niche places, for example, like California, Santa Clara, for example, where, people will actually pick up on the trend, and it's definitely a trendy city. So someone will be like, oh, you know what, I want to stick out, I want to drive that car, and then more people will catch on. Okay, so in Q3 for 2020, Solo expanded their retail footprint in 6 high traffic shopping centers, including San Diego, California, of course, Arizona, some more Arizona locations, and 2 more California locations. Okay, so again, they're trying to do this massive ad and marketing campaign that they're also doing, as we can see, press release as of January 15th. So Electromechanica increases retail footprint into 3 new cities and expands the Drive Solo marketing and ad campaign. So now it's at 13 locations across 3 Western states. So as we can see here, and again, you can pause this. You can go to their press releases, and they're also planning a Solo drive tour, which is planned for 5 cities, in Oregon. So it mainly is in Arizona, California, and Oregon. Okay, so 3 sort of upstart and trendy type states. Okay, in February and March, we look forward to bringing our vehicles to select early reservation holders in these exclusive invitation-only test drive experiences, providing one of the first opportunities to look and see the Drive Solo. Okay, so again, I think that's pretty darn cool. Okay, and it's nice that they have a lot of cash on hand. So although they're burning through cash, and they only made like about $300,000 dollars in operational revenue for Q3. Again, that's to be expected that they're losing money, and they lost, I think, 14 million, while they're, again, trying to ramp up production, trying to set up their ad campaigns, trying to build these facilities out, so they can finally sell some of these products. Okay, so let's go over again some of their stats here. So one thing that I noticed actually was when I went on statistics, we can see that about 13.37 shares are shorted, and that's percent of float. And one of the shorters of this stock is Citron Research. Okay, so if the Wall Street Bets crew actually bands together and manages to pretty much bankrupt Citron and Friends, so Melvin and company basically, uh, you know, I would say Citron would need to liquidate their positions in Solo and would have to buy shares in Solo, and therefore would drive the price up. And if they weren't able to buy shares in Solo, then of course there would be less short positions, and of course that would also stop having such a negative pressure on the stock price. But again, I have to say that 13% is actually not bad in terms of percent shorted. I mean, we've seen like with GME over 100% of the shares being shorted. Okay, so um, you just have to again be wary, and that's just one point that I figured I'd share. Okay, because Citron Research gave Solo like a $2 price target and said that this was a company running out of just someone's basement. Okay, and again, a lot of people have some bright ideas here. So again, they're trying to get into 3 lines of work here. So one is of course driving Solo to and from work, and another huge one is fleeter delivery, and of course, when you think of deliveries, companies just want to buy vehicles cheap. And so if they're able to buy a Solo cheap and use that as a delivery vehicle for food, for example, for Amazon parcels, etc., that will also be an additional position where the Solo could excel. Okay, in cities where everything is crowded, Solo has a small car, so they can weave in and out of traffic at will. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have to say about the Solo. I think it's a very, very good company. Of course, I own stock in Solo, so definitely do your own DD before buying and selling into the stock. But again, I really like it. Let me know if you own any Solo positions and what your thoughts are on Solo and the whole movement. And we've seen before, EVs, they weren't popular 5 years ago. Look at it now. These EVs are incredibly popular, right? So that's just a testament basically to saying that, okay, it's not popular now, it doesn't mean that it will not be popular in the future. Okay, that's all I have to say. Again, let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers and take care, everyone. Love you all.